Hello, paper crafters. This is Sue Lair. I am an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up! Since 1997. Today, I'm going to show you how I'm going to make a wedding card that looks similar to this wedding card that we received in the mail. I'm sure you are thinking just like I thought. There are Stampin' Up! Products that match this perfectly. So let's get started. I do not own the Celebrate Sunflowers stamp set on page 13 in the annual catalog, but I found a swap card that has this sunflower on it from that stamp set. So I ripped it off. Shh, don't tell anybody. I ripped apart that card swap. And then I'm going to use the Forever Blossoms stamp set for the sentiment. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to color this with the blends, and I'm using Daffodil Delight and Soft Suede. Maybe it's guilt. I feel a little guilt stealing a piece of a swap card and claiming it as my own, but I'm just going to do this. I'm sure other people have done that. They just don't confess to it like I do. So I'm really just filling that in a little bit. And then I wanted the Daffodil Delight to look a little darker. And I did cut this out with a pair of these lovely paper snips. Oh my gosh. This wasn't cut with a die, and I don't have the die either. So I just want it to look a little, the darker to me, the more rich this would look. I'm not doing any shading. There is a little bit of shading in here. I'm just going to color it. All right. So we have that, and we'll set that aside. And then I am going to take a piece of 5.5 by 8.5 Whisper White Cardstock. Match my corners. Use a bone folder so I have a nice crisp edge. And then I'm going to add a 4" by 5¼ piece of Early Espresso Cardstock. You're seeing that my favorite adhesive is a multi-purpose liquid glue. I've used many different adhesives, and this is my favorite. It's kind of interesting because it takes a little bit of practice, so you don't get too much glue, because you don't want it to ooze off the edges. But I have definitely figured it out from making so many swap cards. That's what I figured. Oh, and then I am using this piece of In Good Taste Designer Series paper is 2 inches by 5 inches, and I will be attaching that to this 4¼ by 3 3¾ by 5" piece of Whisper White Cardstock. I'm not editing my videos. They are what they are. And and I'm sure it doesn't matter to you. You just want to see how it's made. And if it's a little bit longer, I just look on the back side, take my paper snips, and just trim it. Oh, and I guess who made a boo-boo already? Me! All right, everybody who knows me knows I do this. I should have stuck this little piece of garden green cardstock underneath here. Watch me salvage this. You do learn how to do this after being a demonstrator for 23 years. You do learn every trick of the trade. All right. So this piece of garden green cardstock was from the Ornate Layers dies. It's just one of these. And I'm going to be a little bit fussy here. I think the thing with paper crafting, it's really just all in the details and cuts that are neat, and you don't have, what do they call them? Like hanging chads like years ago from an election. You just want to make sure everything is neat and you have smooth cuts. So that means you have to keep your blade sharp on your paper cutter. All right, so I have that done, and now I'm ready to put this on top of my existing card. I'm an eyeballer. I know some people aren't, but I am. I guess we all learn our own way to do it, right? All right, so I have that, and then I have, let's see, make sure I have this in the right direction. Do I want it this way? No, this way. Gonna put some dimensionals on it. And if you've never used stamping blends before, when you see this ink through the back side, that tells you that you are doing the right amount of the stamping blends, which is an alcohol marker. It should go through the back, and that's why I had this scrap piece of paper to catch anything, because I want to save this so it looks nice for my videos. All right, so now my eyeballing, I have to make sure I have everything even. I'm going to put this in the center. And then I use the Layering Ovals Framelit dies. I use these two. And if you haven't seen the Stamp Cut and Emboss machine, this is what it looks like, and that's what I used. But my space here that I'm working doesn't have enough room for me to use the machine up there. And I use Early Espresso ink, and I'm using the Sentiment Always and Forever. And I pre-stamped it because honestly, I don't want to make a stamping blooper for you all to gasp and go, what? This woman's been stamping for how many years? And I'm also going to use the dimensionals on the back of this. And I I don't like to have, sometimes I've seen cards where people will just put 2 on and then you get like it sinks, and I think it just, one extra dimensional keeps things straight, and they're attached. So here we go. This was the invitation, and this is the wedding card. I'm pretty excited that I figured it out, how to make a matching wedding card to the invitation that I received, and it worked. I think what do you think? Should I put like the Wink of Stella? Maybe. I might do that off camera. Sometimes I look at something and go, oh, it just needs a little bit something else. But so now I have this nice simple card. I might stamp wishing you a long life together filled with love and promise, or I may just write my own sentiment on the inside. So I really appreciate you watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking the red subscribe box below. After subscribing, if you click on the bell, you will be notified when a new video is uploading. Happy creating!